It's on you.
All right. Oh, good. We're on. Good. We're on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. Another Saturday morning where we talking sports of all sorts. It may be cold outside, blistering weather outside, but it's a hot sports weekend once again throughout the nation. First of all, I want to dedicate the show to the people of California. Man, terrible fires. Those fires that I don't know where these fires even come from. It's like all of a sudden you hear that never hear that a fire is brewing or coming or maybe coming. Next thing you know, a fire done hit. And here we are on the East Coast, didn't even know this fire was taking place. And boy, it broke out and looked like 3 or 4 different areas of Southern California. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Southern California in the Altadena neighborhood as well, which was a historic African-American neighborhood, Altadena, California as well. Those neighborhoods would just look like completely burnt out. Schools, churches, the whole community wiped out by this fire that hit that area. So we hope everybody is well. It's glad most of the people are safe and sound. Look like they have to rebuild or find a place to stay. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people of Southern California. Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show. The Radman is coming at you every week with the Real Deal Sports Show. Of course, playoffs is key. We got the Texans coming on later today at 4:30. We got football at 4:30 this afternoon. Bills at 1 o'clock tomorrow, Sunday. Myself and J-GILLZ will be out there covering the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos football game. But first, we spoke to the Radman, asked a couple questions of the defensive coordinator. How the heck are you going to stop the run? Because Javonte Williams, those boys ain't no joke out there with the Denver Broncos. You're going to have to wrap up and bring them to the ground. DJ Sean Touch, can you put on the interview with, because we're coming to you live from the Advantage Federal Credit Union studios each and every Saturday morning here with Real Deal Sports Show. Let's go to the interview with Bobby Babbage.
All right.
Pushed through a little bit of an injury or two in training camp, and then he was able to kind of get on this type of upward trajectory, and then he had that setback with the wrist hand injury, and I think he's working himself back. I don't think he's back to where he was before, but he is showing signs of improvement and working himself back to where he was. Coach, winning the first day, winning the first game. Let's just start there.
Absolutely, Coach.
That's right. That was the head coach, Sean McDermott. Excuse me. That was head coach Sean McDermott talking about what the defense had, about Dwayne Carter's hand coming back from the hand injury. He's still not totally up to speed, but he's almost there. He's not back to where he was before the injury. Him and Dwayne Smoot, they're going to be key guys tomorrow afternoon playing on that defensive front. And on the edge, Dwayne Smoot going to have to make some plays and wrap up Javonte Williams and force Bo Nix into throwing the football and getting some turnovers. Let's hear what how can you stop Colton Sutton, the high-end wide receiver for the high-end wide receiver of the Denver Broncos. Let's hear what Coach Defensive Coordinator Bobby Babbage has to say.
Been a part not only of taking the ball away, but being, there's other things in there where maybe we didn't recover a fumble or little things here and there, but he's constantly thinking about the ball, doing a really nice job. And like all our players, we need to be playing our best ball here in these starting this week. I mean, he's an explosive player. There's a reason that I believe he's an AFC returner for the Pro Bowl. So obviously that tells you how explosive he is, and with the ball in his hands, what he can do. And not only is he good space, but he, obviously his speed, he can take the top off. So definitely got to be aware of him and what he brings.
Absolutely. As a former DB out there in North Dakota, and Micah Hyde's back, just care to talk about how much of his knowledge on the sideline and practice has been instrumental to this young group.
Did you say me being a DB in North Dakota? North Dakota State.
North Dakota State, right? Yeah. Sorry, being disrespectful there, right?
No, that's all right. That's all right. No. It's great. It's great. I mean, the experience that Mike has had playing in this league and the things that he's seen over the course of his time in this league, and just the way he sees the game is absolutely invaluable to all our guys in that room, especially the young guys.
Appreciate your time.
Absolutely, J-GILLZ. That was Bobby Babbage talking about the DJ Chantel. Can you go ahead and run the second Bobby Babbage defensive interview about stopping the run?
The George Radney Challenger Community News. How you doing this afternoon?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right. I'm just wondering, now in the playoffs, look like everybody has a strong running game. And I'm wondering, with the defensive now, it look like stopping the run is definitely going to be a major issue, a major thing that needs to be done during this upcoming playoffs, starting with the Denver Broncos. And I'm wondering with Javonte Williams and the assortment of backs that they have as well, what kind of concepts do you feel how important is that to stop that run and make them a one-dimensional team with Bo Nix?
It's always important. It's always important, regardless of the game, regardless of the time of the year. That's defensive football. If you can make them one-dimensional, obviously that makes things a little easier for the defense. And clearly in the playoffs in Buffalo, that's going to be an absolute must that we have to do.
And with Dwayne Smoot and Dwayne Carter both playing yesterday, and they both coming off of wrist surgery, how do you feel? How do you feel they played in yesterday's game? How did you grade them yesterday?
I think they both did some good things, and there's some things we need to correct, as in every game. And we need to be playing our best football individually and collectively. Obviously, this is the most important time of the year.
All right, thank you for your time. Good luck this coming Sunday.
You got it, George. Thank you.
There you have it. And that segment was brought to you by Rock Palm Brokers. Deal or no deal. It's back on again. Hey, they may have ran it in 2024, but they damn sure running it in 2025. Deal or no deal. Get on over to 559 State Street and find out about what deal you can make with deal or no deal. Also at Rock Palm Brokers, the Wearaway. He got a brand new program called Wearaway program. So I didn't know what the heck he was. I said, Sammy, what are you talking about? Wearaway? You want me to put this on the air? He said, yeah, Wearaway. He said, let me tell you. I said, what the hell is Wearaway? He said, this is blah, blah, blah. But you got to stop by 559 State Street to find out about his exclusive Wearaway program starting today at Rock Palm Broker. For 559 State Street, get your honey, get your significant other, your partner, whoever it may be. Get them some of that fine jewelry for the upcoming
Valentine's Day coming up.
Upcoming Valentine's Day, right, J-GILLZ?
Oh yeah, Valentine's Day coming up. It's the fresh start of the year, 2025. Man, y'all better go ahead down to Rock Farm Brokers and get what you need to get. Love on your people. It's 2025. Stop being cheap in 2025.
Absolutely, because he ain't got that. Hey, you get buzzed in there, man. They don't play no games. They ain't out at the mall getting robbed like those guys, those clowns out there at the mall. Come on, man. What kind of setup was that, man? Come on, man. Yeah. We hope everybody, allegedly what happened out there.
To Dubai jewelry store,
No, we don't even say their name. They ain't spending no money with us, man. We don't say nobody's name on there. If they ain't spending no money, we ain't got their name on the air. No. Whatever that jewelry store out there is more secure and safe. Check out Rock Palm Brokers, 559 State Street for the greatest deals. What do you think of the Bills' defensive situation going with what defensive coordinator Bobby Babbage had to say?
I like Bobby Babbage. Obviously, he had a decent season going into what he had to go into. Putting the pieces in place. Obviously, Coach Sean McDermott had a lot to say about that. But Bobby Babbage did an excellent job. Man, going into this game tomorrow, it's gonna be tough. I don't want to just discredit the Denver Broncos and what I saw from a Hall of Fame coach in Sean Payton. I don't want to just discredit that. Sean McDermott's going to have to go up against Sean Payton. And we understand that last year he went up against him as well with Russell Wilson, but it wasn't the same team. It wasn't the same team that we're seeing right now. So that's the biggest matchup that I'm interested in seeing, McDermott versus Sean Payton. McDermott's defense versus Sean Payton in that offense. I think that's the matchup. That'll be the key to the game. But Bobby, he's been doing a phenomenal job when I look at this defense. You're going to have to contain, as he said, he's going to have to contain Bo Nix in the pocket for the consistency of the game. Sean McDermott and Bobby Babbage, they go blitz crazy sometimes, but they're going to have to just, stay steady, try not to blitz so much because McDermott falls in love with that blitz, man. And that's what he has to understand is, Bo Nix is a mobile quarterback. If he sees you coming, he's going. He doesn't turn the ball over, and he's got that decent running game to lean on. So they're going to have to figure out a way to contain him, make him pocket pass, make him throw the ball, and that's going to be the the stopper right there. And even in that too high safety man, he's been able to eat that up all season while working the middle of the field with Cortland Sutton. So, the Bills linebackers are going to have to do what they had to do. I heard DeMar Hamlin is going to be playing in the game. I know he was dealing with some injuries. So DeMar's going to have the secondary, who I've been talking about all year. Everybody who listens to the Real Deal Sports Show knows J-GILLZ have been calling out this secondary since training camp, since the preseason. So they're going to have to show up. And I think they can. But my keys to the game is you just got to contain Bo Nix, who's having a heck of a season.
You have to contain him, and I think they're going to definitely give him a lot of looks that he hasn't seen before. And see, that's the problem when you don't have a Micah Hyde or a Poyer back at the safety position. They can hide the coverage until the ball is snapped. Those guys used to hide it so bad that I remember that quarterback we spoke to last year. I can't remember which one it was. He was saying, Baker Mayfield. It was Baker Mayfield. He said, those guys, man, that's the first thing you ever seen a safety. They can hide the coverage and nobody gives away what the call is. Until the ball is snapped. He said you could tell those guys have been playing with each other for a long, long time because He said it's rare that they don't give away what the coverage is before the ball is snapped. And that's the way it used to be with the Bills. But now, it's wide open. Teams can see what they're coming, what kind of schemes. And he's over blitzing, like you said. Man, he's sending the first play of the game. He's sending the safety, or he's sending the cornerback, or he's sending the linebacker. It's going to be interesting to see how Terrell Bernard comes back from the quad injury. They got to get, but off season, they got to get beefed up with the linebacker. You got to get a bigger linebacker in there. Maybe move Terrell Bernard to the safety position. I think the safety position would be really well because he's a ball hawk. He knows how to get after the ball. And he's learning how to call the defensive signals anyway. So maybe move him back on the back end, and maybe that could help McDermott. But for McDermott, them to win 13 games is unbelievable, man. With the safeties not being up to par, J-GILLZ, correct?
Oh man, correct. But also credit to Josh Allen and Joe Brady. I don't get how this media stream is just talking about Stephon Diggs. We understand Stephon Diggs was a great receiver. We understand that even in this time during Buffalo, he put up great numbers. Last year he was a 1,000-yard receiver. But let's understand, as soon as Joe Brady took the helm, Stephon Diggs' production went down. He wasn't on the team the second half of last year. The first half with Ken Dorsey, he was getting numbers, 10 catch games, 100 yards games. As soon as Joe Brady took over the realm, it was everybody eats mentality. So, I don't get how people are underestimating and saying that without Stephon Diggs, and, that's a built-in excuse for Josh Allen, in my opinion. We're looking at James Cook, a first-round running back. We're looking at a guy like Keon Coleman, a first-year receiver. He's a rookie, but granted, he was the first-round pick. We're looking at guys like Dalton Kincaid, another first-round pick. Come on now. These are all offensive weapons who are first-round picks. No, I don't understand how people are saying the production was going to be down. No, Josh Allen is a heck of a quarterback. He's the top 3 quarterback in the league, and he got first-round picks all around him. So when you talk about, I understand the defense, they're giving up 40 points, but you have a consistent offense. You have a competent offensive coordinator with a Hall of Fame quarterback. What do you expect? The offense is going to put up points, and that's what they've been doing all season. On Detroit, on LA, on everybody, they're going to put up points. So the defense, luckily the defense hasn't, they haven't had to really to be dominant. This is their test because in these playoffs, and especially getting to a Super Bowl, you look at some of these teams, you're going to have to play defense because the Eagles, they got a defense. The Ravens, they got a defense. The Broncos, it's the first test, they got a defense. So, the offense has been playing spectacular. We got to give them credit. And another thing, Radman, I want to say this. Everybody, all the Bills Mafia, I love Joe Brady. He's a heck of an offensive mind. His 2 most successful seasons came at LSU when he had Joe Burrow. Come on, it's Joe Burrow. And now with Josh Allen. Come on, it's Josh Allen. It's something to say about continuity, sticking together and staying the course. You saw that all this season. You see Brian Daboll, they're not firing him. You see the Dolphins keeping both Greer and McDaniel. Stop trying to put Joe Brady into it as a head coach. How about he just stays the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills because that's where he's excelling at. That's what he's doing great at. He's able to work with Josh Allen. How about you just do that? I'm tired of these Bills Mafia trying to accelerate Joe Brady and trying to make him a head coach already. Are we going to lose Joe Brady? He's doing it. Nah, how about you try and keep Joe Brady? It's something to say about continuity. So, I got to give it up more so to the Bills offense than the Bills defense. The Bills defense, they're going to have to prove themselves, Radman. But the offense clearly has been great all season.
Yeah, and I think Ben, like you just said, Ben Johnson of the Detroit Lions, he knows just what you were saying. Hey man, I like it here, man. I'm doing well. I like the lineup that I have. I still have plays I haven't even used yet. So absolutely. Ben Johnson, and look where they are. They top seed over there in the NFC this year. And also the ownership may pay a little more money because the owners can pay they don't have a salary cap on the coaches. So you can say, hey man, we pay you a little more to keep you here. And I think that's what the Bills may need to do. Maybe give him a little raise because he has helped Josh Allen immensely with the weapons that he has and the guys that everybody eats. He came up with the mantra "everybody eats" back in before training camp. So that was back during OTAs. He came up with that concept. They've been using it, and that's the first concept that I've heard Buffalo Bills players speak of throughout the entire season.
Wow.
No matter who we interview, they mention, hey man, everybody eats around here, man. It's like, man, Quentin Moore said, hey man, I'm not going anywhere, man. Everybody eats it, man. I could get paid the same or a little more somewhere else as a tight end in the National Football League, but I'm staying with the Bills. I said, hey, I want to come back because this guy is on to something. He said that back in training camp out at St. John Fisher College. Hey man, we're on to something here, man. Everybody eats. Now we're not worried about one guy getting the ball. And he said that's football should always be like that. It should never be about one guy on the offensive side. You got 11 guys on the field and they're eligible receivers. You got to get the ball to everybody. Everybody that's eligible, get the football to them. The running backs, get them to get the ball and make things happen. I think Joe Brady should remain as offense coordinator. I don't think he should be a head coach. I think he's not ready for a head coaching position. Shame on you. Hey, New Orleans Saints and whoever else is looking at them will want to take a look at the Saints. They say no more about the Saints. I mean, Joe Brady, remember he was under Peyton, Sean Payton for a year down there in New Orleans. That don't make you a head coach, but hey, he's good on the offense. You can see you give him a good quarterback with good receivers, he can set up some nice plays. He can run with it. And before we move into our next segment, we want to also say award-winning insurance agent Miriam Rivera Insurance, Farmer Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, and Life Insurance. Give her a call, 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road, Suite B. Give her a call, 585-360-0094. That's 585-360-0094. And we're going to get back to the Bills when we get back to our selections late in the show. We're going to give you our selections on the 6 playoff games of this weekend. We're going to give you all 6 games, what we think is going to happen in those games. Just quick. Last night, you saw Ohio State defense come on and shut down. What is it about Texas? Texas always everybody talk about Steve Sarkisian. He's another guy. He should just stay an offensive coordinator. His teams always they just look okay. They don't never look great. They don't never look dominating when they play another good top team in college football. They didn't look good against, who was that? Arizona State came back and tied them and took them into overtime. They had to go to overtime to beat Arizona State. So I don't know what all the hoopla about the University of Texas. Steve Sarkisian is overrated. J-GILLZ, your comments?
Steve Sarkisian, I understand, but Radman, I almost want to say this. Well, I think Quinn Ewers is a little bit overrated.
Yes.
At halftime, they had the chance to put Archie Manning in the game. How many times has Archie, came into the game during the season and took that offense to the next level? I think the writing was on the wall for Archie to come in there, and I think that's you can still call it bad coaching by not changing your quarterback. But I mean, he's the one in there. He knows his quarterback. He knows his players, so he's going to roll with what he feels is best. So I'm not going to step on that. Have an opinion on that. But Archie Manning could have came in like we've seen him do all season, and be that backup quarterback to get it done. So that's my thing. I get the coach. I get the coach situation. But to me, it was the quarterback, and that was an elite Ohio State defense. I mean, they came to play. They looking like they're about to win the national championship.
Oh yeah,
that's how dominant they looking right now. So I get it, but
And you made a good comment there. It was 4th and 2 right before halftime, and Texas decided to go for it. He inserts Arch Manning into the game. They hike it through the legs of the tight end who was acting like he was the quarterback. They hiked it back to Arch Manning. They do a power run to the right side of the field, and he picks up 5 yards. He picks up the 2 yards they needed for the first down to keep the drive alive, and then he takes him out the game. And I'm like, what is it that he sees in this Ewing, this Quinn Harris, who to me, like I agree with you, he way overrated. I wouldn't be don't draft him, man. I'd pick him up in the supplementary draft or something in the 4th, 5th round. There's no way in hell you pick him up in the early rounds to act like he's an NFL. He's not no NFL quarterback. But Arch Manning comes from the legacy of the Manning family. Yeah. You mean to tell me you couldn't start him, or you couldn't start him in the second half of last night's game? The jumpstart that team what do you think Sarkisian looking at?
It's a college playoffs. You know what I mean? You got to find a way to win. This is you're one and done. You got to find a way to win, and he wasn't able to do that. And then here he's about to look. Teams in the NFL are looking at hiring him. No way. That's just absurd.
No way. And next week Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, great coaching job. He coaching that team up. He got them playing like a top flight team. Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, they playing some good football.
Oh, yeah.
I thought he's a very good coach. At the end, when they said that, hey, you're the first black coach to make the college football championship, I thought he missed a golden opportunity just to say, hey, thank you. I appreciate all the guys that came before me. Blah, blah, blah. But, hey, this is about the team, and get back. We're about the team effort. Thank you so much. But for him to say, oh, he want the best black, Asian, white coach, hey, man, the white coaches are the problem, man. They're the ones who got all the jobs. Yo, man, Marcus. Hey, man, I hope you clean that up in the next week or so, because that sounded stupid, man. How you going to talk about quality white coaches, man? You got every white coach in his granddaddy coaching, man, trying to coach and botching up football teams. Some of them doing a great job. Some of them botching up. The problem is you don't have a much black and brown head coaches in college football. That's what you should have addressed and said a quick statement and just said, hey, I know you're emotional, your team won. Hey, man, I'm glad I'm here. Hey, I'm glad I'm here the first, but I shouldn't have been the first because there's a lot of other black coaches that have been overlooked and never had the opportunity to coach at the highest level of Division I college football. I mean, Mr. Crooms from Alabama was the only coach. I think he coached at the University of Mississippi, and he had a sorry team. He didn't do much with that team there. Mr. Crooms, who was a star offensive guard at the University of Alabama back in the day, and he got a chance to coach at University of Mississippi. Other than that, I haven't seen any other black coaches get an opportunity at this level. So I thought Marcus Freeman, I hope you can get your statement together because you sounded like Tiger Woods out there. Am I listening to Tiger Woods or what, man? What are you talking about? Black, Asian, mad coaches and white coaches. We need more of them, more qualified. Man, what are you talking about, man? The woman answered the woman's question, man. Come on, Marcus Freeman. You're a great coach. You're a great orator in the locker room, but come on, man, tell it like it is next time they ask you that question, and you will be getting that question a lot as we lead up to the championship down there in Atlanta, Georgia, in the ATL on January 20th. That championship game, Ohio State versus Notre Dame, should be a good game. We'll get our picks on that. Man, we'll do it right now. I like Ohio State to cover the spread in that game because you can't have your quarterback running all the time and not being able to throw the football. That quarterback Riley for Notre Dame, you better coach him up on throwing the ball. They can run the ball, but they're gonna have to throw the ball a little bit again. But Ohio State has all-star NFL quality cornerbacks, starting cornerbacks, man.
Yeah, they do, and receivers.
And receivers, man.
Yeah.
It's like where this team come from, man? How this team get all this talent, man? And they lost their first game to. They lost. No, they didn't lose. That was Notre Dame lost to NIU. That's who lost to NIU. But man, that team is. How do you lose to Michigan? I don't know, man. Not with all that talent that Ohio State has. I think Ohio State might be.
So that's just a rivalry game. Anything can happen in those games. But while we on this topic of Ohio State, I got to shout out the junior over at Monroe High School, Messiah Hampton, with an offer to Ohio State. And he's also going to be over at the Super Bowl doing his he got invited to the Next Levels camp, Nike's Next Level Superstars camp that showcases all the great high school athletes in the nation. So we got to shout out Rochester's own, my Messiah Hampton, while we're talking about Ohio State.
Oh my gosh! So he went had a visit there and everything, and now he's playing in the what is that, the Under Armour game down in he made the Under Armour team and all of that.
The next levels, yep, the next levels. He'll be in New Orleans, and hopefully we'll have him on Radio Row, possibly if with his schedule permitting.
That's right. And keep in mind, we will be on Radio Row starting Monday, February 3rd through Friday, February 7th, broadcasting live. Thanks to Onstage Plus Production Company.
Yes.
We'll be broadcasting live. You can see it on StreamYard. You can also catch us on Facebook Live. We'll be coming to you live from the New Orleans, the Ernest Morrow Convention Center in downtown New Orleans, Louisiana. We will be there. We will have a lot of guests. Lee Steinberg's new sign-ups. They already been signed up. They will be coming on Real Deal Sports Show. So Lee Steinberg will be coming on the show, as well as his new college players that he signed up, and now that they're turning pro, now that they're going to be in the upcoming draft. So we're going to have all of that coming on down there in New Orleans, Louisiana. So get ready. It's going to be a good ride heading down to New Orleans and doing the show from down there all week, February 3rd through February 7th. Of 2025, which is only about 3 weeks away. We'll be down there coming to you live. And before we bring on our next guest, J-GILLZ, Advantage Federal Credit Union at AdvantageFCU.org. AdvantageFCU, that's Frank Charles Union.org for auto loans, Visa cards, student checking accounts, and much, much more. J-GILLZ, you said something about the student checking accounts.
Oh man, you get a student checking account right now. Only takes $5 to add on to the student checking accounts, and then you will be able to get a scholarship. The students will be able to get a scholarship. All you have to do is open a checking account. It's great for savings, and they have another program as well. I forgot the name of the application, but I'll have that in the coming weeks as well. And it's great financial literacy for high schoolers and their parents. Just because we want to build generational wealth and promote generational health and generational wealth right here on the Real Deal Sports Show. So shout out our sponsors at Advantage. They're doing an amazing job on getting financial literacy to people in our community.
Absolutely. And thank you for coming on board and being a sponsor of the Real Deal Sports Show, the Advantage Federal Credit Union. And next, that's next segment coming up. Shalom Singer's joined. Shalom Pearl Singer is joining us live to give us a quick 5-minute update on what can you do to get you out the house and get yourself moving, get your body moving, get your exercise in to keep some of those pounds off as we deal with this harsh, brutal winter segment of the winter season that we're going through. Welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show. Shalom, how you doing this morning?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm staying warm. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. So, like you said, staying warm, keeping it moving. So many platforms are out right now. So you don't have to leave the house, especially in New York, especially in Rochester, to keep moving, stay motivated. So many things right now are focused on just getting up and being active. So it's a new year. You know, everybody's talking about New Year's resolutions and new things and trying to not mess up and get into the end of the month and be like, yo, this not working. It's not going to happen. So one thing that I urge, my clients, my friends and family members is to focus on how they can implement it in their lifestyle. So you work from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. The weekend, you got a whole nother job. What are some things that you can gracefully add to your plate without your plate breaking, without it being too much? So some things that I definitely encourage is to sit down and think about the things that you like. Take a minute to give yourself that time to say, okay, I don't like leaving the house. Okay, right there. Let's set up some things that you can do at home where you don't have to get a gym membership, where you don't have to put yourself, above and beyond, or financially, don't let that be a strain on your finances. Break it down to things like you said, you like dancing. There's so many platforms. There's Zumba, there's salsa, there's, bachata, soca, all those different dances that you can do right here at home. And you can just Google that, look it up. So many platforms are out there. There's so many fitness and wellness industries out there that are giving free and demos and things of that nature that you can just Google it, a free at home workout. So you can sit down in your chair and do things such as that. The YMCA has a platform. The Lifespan has platforms, so many different from all different levels. So sit down and think about what are things that you enjoy. So that's a nice start.
Excellent. How about making sure you have plenty of fluids, drinking plenty of water?
All the time. Keep it there. And it doesn't have to be cold. It doesn't have to be cold and freeze. The next thing you know, you want to, oh, I'm not drinking no more water.
Right, because if it's too cold, it startles your insides, correct?
It does to a certain degree, but it also, stalls you and be like, oh, you started with a whole cup of cold water before you started working out, before your temperature started to rise and things. And it's like, no, I'm not even doing this no more. So keeping it, don't drink warm water as you're working out, but it definitely can be, lukewarm and things of that. So to keep your body fluid, keep you moving and motivated.
Yeah, because you don't want to cramp up or anything like that. You don't want.
Not at all. Not at all.
What else can people do this to keep themselves going? And you also have a jazzercise class on Mondays, right? At the pool.
An aqua class. Yep, there's an aqua class in the water. There's an aqua class at Adam Street. Yep. That class is fun. That's free as well at Adam Street Rec Center at 5:15. And then there's another class, Aqua Fit class, 9:15 over at South Clinton. That class at Jackson Rec Center pool.
Yeah, the Trent and Pamela Jackson Art Center.
That's
pool. What is that 9? What was it? Say, are they in the morning? What time is those again? In days of the week that takes place?
Monday at 5:15 at Adam Street. 9:15 at Trenton and Jackson.
Okay, and that's
in the morning.
Both of them are early in the morning.
No, nobody coming at 5 in the morning.
That's what I thought. That's what I said. Wait a minute, hold up, 5 in the morning. Okay,
Monday at 5:15 p.m. and 9:15 a.m.
9:15 a.m. There we go. There we have it. Oh, okay.
That's it.
And so they can come and you got the music going and everything, and to get people exercise, get them going.
Get them going, get them motivated. Absolutely.
And also, if you're braving outside, isn't taking a nice walk, maybe a walk around the block or something, also can invigorate you as well?
It can, but let's keep it swift, especially if you're new to fitness. I would not encourage walking right now in the winter storms. So, going to the mall, get that 5-minute walk in, go to the mall. Those are some well-known things that we can do. And if you are, getting a new gym membership and things of that, I would definitely encourage you to ask for help. If it hadn't worked before, use your group, use the team, use the people around you, think about what classes that you can participate. And this is the season right now to try everything. Go try this class, try something new. You went to the gym, check mark. Did you get in the pool and do some water walking? That's an option. Use the tracks that are there. Those things to keep you moving and motivated. That's what January is typically consisted of. It's just staying consistent. Excellent. You don't got to kill it in January. It's just actually putting that action into play.
Excellent. We look forward to having you back on next one. Thank you so much for coming on board. Is there an email address or someone? How can someone get in contact with you if they are interested in learning more about physical fitness?
Definitely. It's my company, pearlsphysique@yahoo.com.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
pearlsphysique@yahoo.com.
Excellent. Salome Singer, thank you so much for coming on Real Deal Sports Show. Look forward to having you back in February to talk more about more and more physical fitness, how we can keep ourselves and get ourselves in shape or stay in shape.
Sounds good. I look forward then. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That's a good one there to keep ourselves in shape and keep ourselves together and get ourselves ready. That fitness, that swim program, I went to that one last week. It's a very good program. Can help get yourself, and it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. You're working out, and you have a good time with others as well as you're getting yourself together there. And now, as we move into, remember, Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper. Pick us up each week. Pick up the Challenger at most businesses in the community, most places. We'll be back next week. The special edition, January 16th edition, the Martin Luther King special edition. All you want to know and maybe don't know about Martin Luther King, and also find out what's going on in the community with the King celebrations and all of that in the largest weekly African-American newspaper, Challenger Community News. And then we go into our next segment. We go down. We're gonna shift it gears. And hey, guess what? I heard it was snowing. Is it snowing down there in Texas? And I know in Dallas it's snowing. James Wilson had trouble getting back home yesterday from Rochester. We're gonna go to AD AD Moore is from the Ad Max Corner. We're going to talk about the Houston Texans football, but first we're going to hit the weather. What's the weather like down there, AD?
Currently it's 34 degrees and clear in Houston, Texas. Now, let me explain. It was about 5 or 6 inches of snow up in the northern, North Texas, Central Texas, when that front came through. Unfortunately, that same existing front that caused a lot of those Santa Ana winds, and our hearts and souls and thoughts and goes out to those folks in Palisade and everywhere else that have had to experience that horrific fire and everything out there in California, George. But yeah, no, it's been about 5 or 6 inches of snow up in the central part of Texas. It did not snow down here. The line stopped probably about 70 miles north of here, but the cold conditions came about. Since I'm doing the forecast for the Texas area down here, roughly they anticipating another big northern clipper coming from Siberia and coming over the North Pole, coming over here probably about January 19th. We're looking for another one of those.
Ooh.
Something that y'all used to dealing with. Be candid with you. We are not used to dealing with this, man. These houses are not even built like that, like the houses y'all have up there. These houses are built to breathe because we're dealing roughly. We have about 10 months of just summer and spring and about 2 weeks of winter. But now with climate change, some people don't believe it. That's okay.
Right.
Yeah, the climate change is real, folks, for those of us that believe in facts and science. But anyway, be you that as it may, man. Happy New Year, guys. Hey, what's going on, man?
Thank you so much for that weather breakdown. Hey, we might be up to 31 to 35 degrees tomorrow at kickoff time for the Bills game. We've been in the teens for most of this week, so we may be back up to catch up with you guys in the early 30s. But let's catch up on the Houston Texans. What's been going on with the Texans, especially after that devastating injury to Tank Dell? Have they recovered from his injury or other injuries that the team has sustained since then?
Yeah, Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason still out. Shaq he was the starting right guard for the Houston Texans. He's still out. Titus Howard has moved from right tackle to left guard. Blake Fisher, who the Notre Dame graduate, he's at the Titus spot. And Buchanan, which I had to really go and take a look at the lineup today, man, because they've been playing musical chairs with. No, I know. Juice Shrugs has gone to right guard, and Patterson, another Notre Dame product, has moved in the center. So that's where your starting five is at currently at the moment, George. So yeah, the Texans have been really, it's the same record they had last year. Okay, last year there was no expectations. 10-7. Went to the went to Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland came here for the first round of wild card, and then all of a sudden they had to go to M&T Bank Stadium, and everybody know what happened up there. Lamar Jackson and them, they just clown the Texans up there, and so and then with coming into expectations this year, I picked the Texans 11-6 this year, so they wind up duplicating their record of 10-7. Of the 7 losses, George, 2 of them were butt whoopings, flat out butt kicking. 5 of those games, the Texans very well could have won those games. I mean, particularly the Jets. I was in Lambeau Field for the Green Bay game, and even the Kansas City game. Right before Christmas, they had a good chance of they could have beaten the Texans then. And that's where Tank Dell got hurt, was in Kansas City, man.
Yeah.
And to this day, to this moment, I don't know how Tank held on to the ball. I really don't, because the way he was hit on his knee and as it stands right now, we probably won't see Tank Dell for the next season at all because of the horrific nature of his knee injury. I would pray and hopefully that we would, but with the amount of the severe injury that's to Tank's knee and everything else, the structure around it. I'm not anticipating seeing Tank Dell. It'll probably be 2026 season before Tank Dell can make an appearance to get back out on the NFL field again, man.
And yeah, that's a sad situation because a nice young man, because he broke his leg the year before, That ended the season the year before.
About the 6th or the 7th ball game in the middle of the season, he was involved in a goal line situation on a block and got injured then. So yet it's the same leg again. So
wow.
As we stand right now, I mean, a kid that really just has drawn the he's sort of like one of those guys around the locker room, not only in the second year, man, but he generates a lot of just thoughts and encouragement, just a lot of positive flow within that locker room, man. So yeah, that's been a big thing missing. Also, with Stephon Diggs went out, he went out with an Achilles as well. So out of the top three starting wide receivers, only one back now. Nico Collins came back after he was out for 4 weeks with a pulled hammy and everything. So he's been back and he's shown great movement, and also he has become really CJ Stroud's go-to. That's his go-to blanket right now, because Tank Dell was CJ's go-to blanket when he got in trouble. But as he worked through this season, man, that's where we are right now, man. And and thinking about as far as CJ Stroud is concerned, from last year to this year, he's like a minus 381 as far as total passing yards for the season. He's a minus 3 here. He only had 20. We had 23 touchdowns last year, only 20. So, and then he's a plus 7 in the interception category. He threw 5 last year. He's up to 12 this year. So overall, when you look at it, it's not that big of a dichotomy. But the biggest dichotomy, as far as I'm concerned, and it's what I stated at the beginning of the year: expectations. How does this team respond to injuries? And then being a team that nobody expected something out of, now that you're playing a first round schedule as what they played this year. And so, and just on a side note, the Buffalo Bills are on the Texans roster for next year.
Yeah.
So the Bills got to come back again this year. So I guess I'll be hosting you again next year.
Yes, it did. I saw that on the. I said, "Wait a minute, we got to go to Houston again." I said, "Well, hey, that's AD all day long. AD, look forward to coming down there next year." Great hospitality as always. Always had a great time when we get there. One question I wanted to ask you though, when I saw the injury to Tank Dell during that game against Kansas City, it reminded me of the Buffalo Bills injury to when Damar Hamlin was seriously injured on the field, and it looked like the rest of that game it took away, and then because they were caught up in the what I call the monopoly game of the NFL. Had the same 2 teams that played on Saturday. They had to turn around and play on Wednesday of the following week. They didn't have enough. It didn't look like it was enough time for them to mentally digress and move on to the next week. And check out their guy and make sure he was okay when he got back home to Houston. Go visit them or something, whatever the case may be. To rest their minds that he's going to be all right and get their mind back on the football. It looked like it was too short of a time, and they were. I thought the Ravens played one of their better games, but still, I thought Houston's mind was still back in Kansas City, and they just didn't look right. Have they mentally recovered from that game, from that Kansas City game as of yet? How are they going to win this game today?
Well, let me just, it's interesting that you asked that question. Jim Harbaugh will now, for the 369 days ago, he bought the University of Michigan team, same stadium, NRG, won the national championship. Now he comes back to the scene of his biggest victory from a collegiate standpoint. He brings the Los Angeles Chargers in there. Nobody's expecting this team to win today. But I'm from the Herm Edwards school. That's the reason you play the game, man. I think that the game has got to be won in the trenches. I think that and coach, that's football 101. Yeah, we know it got to be won in the trenches. But the Texans really gonna have to be able to, I think, get some kind of a consistent running game today against this afternoon against the Los Angeles Chargers, because you got Bosa, Khalil Mack on the ends, and so I think it's going to boil down to how effective the Texans running game against the Chargers, and then vice versa. Can the Texans generate a consistent passing attack, but also the D tackles, because between Fatukasi, who's coming back off of injuries, Tim Settles and the rest of the guys, how consistent and how stout they're going to be up in the middle of the day to be able to put the pressure on the Chargers and just sort of make this a ball game today.
Yeah, because J.K. Dobbins is running well. You can see Harbaugh believes in that running game. Hey
man, without a doubt, man. Look, like I say, what was his first pick? His first pick, John Alt, at the tackles position, and then the Texans got to have their work cut out for them today. But you know what? They still one of 14 teams that made the playoffs, and so I talked to Daniil Hunter, and that was one of the questions I put to him. Wednesday, man, in the open locker room, what is it going to take? And he say, hey, it's right down. He said, it's mental. He say, we really got, we got to be able to get out there. We've seen almost every conceivable play that's going to happen to us now. And so it's getting mentally prepared. And then we got to just play fast. We got to play fast and just move. We got to play fast, hard, and vicious. That's bottom line, man. They got to go out there and deliver. They got to deliver the blows today instead of receiving the blows.
So what do you think is the final score of this game?
23-20. I think it's gonna boil. It's probably gonna boil down to somebody gonna be kicking a field goal at the end. Now, unlike hopefully it's not like when the Detroit Lions came in here on that Thursday night game, and they kicked the field goal in the end, and because the Texans had that was part of the prior year. That was part of their makeup. They were able to control the ball, kick a field goal at the end, and come in and pull a win out. So the very well. So if the Texans and George is ironic about this. At my wrap up show after the Tennessee game, I pretty well said, well, more than likely the Texans will have the first game coming out of the wild card. Lo and behold, and once I went back and looked at the records and everything, the last 8 times that the Texans, as far as they've always been the team that has to start the wild card week off. I remember when the Texans, I think went the Cincinnati Bengals. That's when I covered my my alma mater when they was playing in the FCS championship against North Dakota State. And Texans was playing then. So Max Edison, the late Max Edison was covering the Texans down here during that game that Saturday, and I was up in Frisco, covering the FCF championship. So that's the nature of the beast. Texas get no respect, man. We get the matinee game. We start off the whole wild card weekend. We get the first matinee game.
Right.
We didn't even get the primetime game, man. We like the matinee. We the matinee star for the NFL, but that's okay. We are playing.
So you're saying 23-20 Texans going to win this? 23-20?
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
I think that's my score. 23-20.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for coming on Real Deal Sports Show, and we're gonna have you back on again real soon. Of course, when we'll be in New Orleans in about another 3 weeks. So
absolutely.
I know we'll have you on when we get down there to the Big Easy. We'll definitely have you on, and once Houston wins today, we'll definitely probably have you on next week to break down the game.
George, quickly as one. Here's the thing about it. Now, if the things break right, if the Steelers get off the mat and beat the Ravens today, they will be the lowest seeded team. If the Texans win, guess that and Buffalo take care of the Bills. That's what could be the divisional round right there. The Texans might have to be up there in Western New York.
Next weekend.
Stranger things have happened, man.
Oh, it's stranger things. Might have to see you next week, right up here, in the free zone, the blizzard zone. You're more than welcome.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, you have a great week. Enjoy the games. And check him out at Max Corner. Check him out his post-game show. Tell the post-game show.
Post-game show on the Ad Max Corner, YouTube channel, and the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. The Facebook page got hacked a little bit, so we're working to get to pull that one back up. But you catch us on both YouTube channels. The post-game show this right after the game today. So it'll probably be probably about 6 o'clock, unless they go into overtime. We're talking about 6 o'clock post-game show, the recap of the Houston Texans versus the Los Angeles Chargers this afternoon, man. And on both the Ad Max Corner YouTube channel, the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Also follow me on the AdMax Corner Instagram page and Twitter, AD_more64. George, appreciate it, man. Have a good one, man. All right, man. Thank you again.
Take care. All right, everybody. We're gonna get into the picks. Chargers, Houston getting the 3 points today. I think it might be a push. He might be right, but I just have a feeling the Rams are going to find, not the Rams, but the Chargers going to find a way to win it by a little bit more than 3. Take the Chargers to cover the 3 points in that game. Baltimore, Pittsburgh is currently at 9. If you got it early in the week at 13, I like the Steelers with the 13. With the 9 points, with Zay Jones out, it's put up a shut-up time for Mike Tomlin. Take the Steelers with the 9 points. They may not win the game, but I think they'll cover the spread today of 9.5 points, almost 10 points. I'd like the Steelers with that point spread. Third time they playing this season. Should be a good one. Buffalo, Denver getting 10. Or 9 right now. That's another one. I think the Bills will find a way to force the turnovers. But the Bills never do anything the easy way. They don't blow out a lot of teams, especially when you get to the playoffs. I think the Bills will win this by 7, 28-21. I think the Bills will win. So you can go ahead and take Denver to cover the 9.5 or 10 points in that spread. Philly, Green Bay, Philly, the hand injury or the elbow injury to Jordan Love, the Green Bay quarterback. That doesn't bode well for them. I think Philly will cover the 6. They'll win it by 7 or more. I think the Eagles will win that one later on today as well. Tampa Bay.
Wrapping up in 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes, all right. We got. Hey, stay with us, DJ Sean Touch. Hey, just like what do you think of my picks here? I like Tampa Bay to cover over Washington. I think Jaden Daniels will turn that ball over. He's another rookie quarterback, just like Bo Nix. I think both of them will turn the football over, and we'll see Tampa Bay winning that one. And then on Monday night, I like the Rams in the upset. It's a pick'em game right now. They moved the game from LA because of the wildfires, moved it to Arizona, to Glendale, Arizona. State Farm Stadium out there. I like the Rams to win that one over the Vikings because I didn't like what I saw from Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold looked like he was back with the Jets last week, Sean Touch. What do you think? I thought he was with them last week. But
listen, I think they're all going to be good, man. Listen, I think the picks that you're making is right, man. I trust your judgment.
Hey, thank you very much. Hey, I got a quick question for you. What's going on with Fox Sports, man? You got the Joy Taylor over there. You got somebody suing the lawsuit of Fox Sports over there because they said Joy Taylor was going with the anchor Emmanuel Ocho, the host of the sports show that they were on together. I think it was called Speak or something. And now they got a lawsuit going to the woman saying that she was accosted by the different people there, including Skip Bayless, allegedly. This is all in a lawsuit that's out there. And with there's always Fox Sports always seem to have something going on behind the scenes. Man, amazing. But Joy Taylor has not responded to it on air as of least. Allegedly, she was going with Emmanuel Ocho at the time, and then also going with one of the producers, Charlie Dixon, over there. Boy, it's a soap opera over there. DJ Sean Touch, your comments?
Yes, I think it's just a lot of allegations going on, especially if someone got let go. And I think she's trying to clean house and get some money, whoever that person is. But, they got to do their due diligence and, and work it carefully because it's out in public eye,
Exactly. And then Tom Brady, they said he's not coming back to Fox Sports to be an announcer on there either. I guess he's taking over more of the Raider things. He did say, Erneska, thank you for bringing that up, Erneska, on some of the comments and everything that you meant. Erneska Walker, always listening to the show. She said Sheila E. lost her home out there in California. Yeah, we sorry to hear that as well. And it's not on the Trent and Pamela Rec Center. Our center is located on North Clinton Avenue, not South Clinton Avenue. It's on North Clinton Avenue, the Trent and Pamela Jackson Our Center, and it's at 9:15 in the morning on Mondays. Is that program for the jazz or swim where you're in the shallow end of the pool and you're doing exercises to jazz music and getting yourself going with the jazz music. And also, you can reach Shalom at the Pearl, Pearls, Pearls, PHYSIQUE.com, pearlsphysique.com for more helpful hints and helpful to get us through the winter season. And with Real Deal Sports Show, check out the website, realdealsportshow.com. All of my Challenger articles are on there. All of Jerome Davis's fantastic photos from this football season is up on the website now. Got a lot of excellent new material on the website, realdealsportshow.com. realdealsportshow.com. Like us, subscribe to the show on YouTube and Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Thank you to the new subscribers on the show on YouTube. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Real Deal Sports Show. Hey, remember, everybody, continue to be a good sport. And then check us live after the Bills game. We're going to be live on the field, YouTube, Facebook, talking about the outcome of the Bills game. We'll be on the field of play on the gridiron after the Bills-Broncos game tomorrow afternoon. So we'll see you tomorrow afternoon after the game. We'll give our post-game wrap-up. The Rad Man, J-GILLZ, Fanatic, we bid farewell from Real Deal Sports Show. Take care, Sean Touch. Come on, you ready to do your thing?
Yes, indeed. BacSpin up next. Back in Time Mix Show.